There's a little hat.
Yes.
Oh.
Andrea and Andreas!
Andreas! We have you here!
We have a girl gang. I've never had this in my life. This is very exciting, and they're all better than me at chess.
I know a lot about wine, obviously. Drink it every morning. No, sorry, that's whiskey in Ireland. I confuse the two things. Spaghetti?
Burger.
Burger?
It's 30 seconds to a minute. Alex might lose her first match.
Literally no one opening that's the
Because
easiest
it's
to
the best
memorize,
one.
and you still
It's actually very
mess up
complicated
theory.
at higher levels. Yeah. Coats and accessories. Yeah.
Opa!
Yes! Nerd! I understood that.
So we made it to London barely.
Andrea,
Alright, we're crossing the river and there's Big Ben.
This is supposed to be team chess. Okay. I'm tired. That was fucking terrible. I'm never doing it again.
He couldn't get a gambit already. Palms are sweaty, they're heavy, but on the service he's in check already.
I'm so powerful. And we are here with Alex's best Norwegian friend. Get in here, Hammer. Get in here, Hammer.
Welcome. I have notes. The legendary
notes.
Oslo Botez Oslo tour.
Yay.
What do you think about this work, Nick? Look at this framing. Okay, the framing is not great, but nation to the royal palace.
Okay.
And it has all.
We're here with Anna Kremling, my new Botez sister. Might even bring her to Dubai.
Overhand machining.
Did you hear that?
Okay, this is too much. I'm out of it.
Don't leave me.
Which we're going to be seeing. One of the main pieces.
Good tidings we bring to you and your friends. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Now give us some piggy pudding. Now give us some piggy pudding.
We got with us Alexandra and Andrea Botez.
Let's just say.
Do you think chess people are fun?
Honestly, I really enjoy hanging out with chess players. And
The Botez sisters are like sharks, and there's just eels just flying around. Like
Andrea comes up with only the most refined, classiest, high-quality questions ever.
How does the knight move?
Wait, help me because another draw! I feel one-sided there. My sister just beat the 2500 of chess 24. Yeah!
I love getting it over.
I know.
It's not gonna be long.
El Manito!
Who's gonna climb it off? Is it over? Why are you still here? It's not going through. Look, Alex, what else did you want? Where's the rain not going through? Bonjour, Alamon. Bienvenue à Paris. Yeah, already start. What are you doing? Yeah, what is this?
There's a little hat.
Yes.
Oh.
Andrea and Andreas! Andreas! We have you here! We have a girl gang. I've never had this in my life. This is very exciting, and they're all better than me at chess.
I know a lot about wine, obviously. Drink it every morning. No, sorry, that's whiskey in Ireland. I confuse the two things. Bagay?
Burger.
Burger?
It's 30 seconds to a minute. Alex might lose her first match.
You literally know one opening that's the
Because
easiest
it's
to
the
memorize,
best one.
and you still
It's actually very complicated at higher levels. Yeah. Coats and accessories.
Yeah.
Opa!
Yes! Nerd! I understood that.
So we made it to London barely.
Andrea, munti che viene sotto la
Alright, we're crossing the river, and there's Big Ben.
This is supposed to be team chess. Okay. I'm tired.
That was fucking terrible. I'm never doing it again.
He couldn't get a gambit already. Palms are sweaty, they're heavy, but on the service he's in check already.
I'm so powerful.
And we are here with Alex's best Norwegian friend. Get in here, Hammer. Get in here, Hammer.
Welcome. I have notes. The legendary
notes.
Oslo Botez Oslo tour.
Yay.
What do you think about this work, Nick? Look at this framing. Okay, the framing is not great, but station to the royal palace.
Okay.
And it has all.
We're here with Anna Kremling, my new Botez sister. Might even bring her to Dubai.
Overhand shooting.
Did you hear that?
Okay, this is too much. I'm out of it.
Don't leave.
I'm out. Which we're going to be seeing. One of the main pieces.
Good tidings we bring to you and your friends. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Now give us some piggy pudding. Now give us some piggy pudding.
We got with us Alexandra and Andrea Botez.
Let's just say.
Do you think chess people are fun?
Honestly, I really enjoy hanging out with chess players. And
The Botez sisters are like sharks, and there's just eels just flying around. Like,
Andrea comes up with only the most test. Oh, thank God. Okay, guys, hello. I have been awake since 8:30 a.m. It is currently 10:30. You can hear me now. Please, before I have a heart attack. Can you hear me? Yes? Okay. The other laptop, all the audio, you know, yesterday when I came back on stream and none of my audio was working, I tried installing the drivers. I tried troubleshooting. I tried doing like 7 different things and it didn't work. So I had to switch everything to this laptop. And then everything is good. And I hit start streaming and it's like, cannot start streaming. Must update more drivers. And I was like, ah. But now we're here. I'm sorry. It's been a morning. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for making it. So I am in Canada. Because I'm in Canada, it means I can actually play poker online. So what we're gonna do today is first, I'm gonna review basically all of my hands from yesterday. I have my little notepad. We're gonna be on with Landon. He's a poker pro, a really good friend of mine, and he's been helping me a lot with poker. So if you guys were watching yesterday, there was, Dad, I wish you were here. I wish you were here. I didn't want you to be here because I didn't want it to be boring for you if I'm playing poker all day. But I told Stream this yesterday. I regret you not being here. I would have been a lot happier if you were here. But it's okay. It's okay. If Papa Botez was here, he would have fixed the laptop. I know he would have. Because he always can fix those things. But anyway, we're in Canada in Vancouver where I grew up. Which is cool because at least I have a lot of childhood friends. I caught up with one of my middle school friends yesterday. It was really sweet. Okay. Anyway. after the lesson, I'm going to be playing another tournament. I think this one is 3K buy-in. GG is free rolling me for it. And again, if I win anything, I will give away 10% of my winnings to chat. But more than anything today, I just want to learn from what I did yesterday and then hopefully, you know, continue getting better. So let me get Landon on the call. There's so many spots I'm curious about. Also, I'm working on a laptop and I have my second laptop here. Like it's not the best setup, so I'm sorry. Just I know the webcam quality is also not great. Just be patient with me. I'm doing my best. Wait, do I get a cut? I mean, we'll raffle. Yeah, no, GG Poker is one of the sickest websites. They have like the best poker security. They're extremely serious. They only focus on poker. I like them a lot. Where's the tournament? It's gonna be online. I'm probably gonna have to like go off stream and come back, but it'll be okay. She only got 2 hours of sleep. No, I just look tired in this lighting. Let me be. Okay, I'm calling Landon. Hello? 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 Test. I see green. Your sound is coming through. Okay, I can't hear you yet, Landon. Thanks, Dad. Okay. We're just, is it on your end or no? Okay, 1 second. I think it's probably my fault. Please, no more tech issues, please. Hello?
They're
I can hear
challenging
you.
Hello?
I'm sorry, Landon.
Okay. No, you're good.
Okay.
They're challenging you today. They got you in the first half, but you're here.
I've been struggling with literally everything tech related, but it's okay. Hi, Landon. Thank you so much for making it today. I really appreciate it.
Hello. I'm here. I made it. Do I put my do you want me to put my webcam on in Discord?
Put your webcam on and I will share my screen with you.
Okay.
Because I have all of my hands saved here.
You have all of them.
I do. Thank you, Gerber, for helping me with this. So whenever you put your webcam, I will add you on the screen as well.
Okay. This is it working.
And if it doesn't work, don't worry. We've all had our tech issues today.
We've all had yeah, there's a lot going on right now.
I know. If you want, we could just do voice.
Voice is fine.
Okay. Okay, cool. We'll just do voice then.
Let's just do voice for now. I don't know. Discord's Discord's acting up.
Yeah, no worries. Gerber, can you make a command for Landon? Landon, we'll have to get you back on Twitch one of these days.
Okay. Well, we'll be here.
How are you doing, by the way? Everything okay?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm interesting. Okay. I'm looking through the spreadsheet. I'm trying to see how.
Okay, so there was one that we had a lot of debate on. It was my last hand. And I'm actually really curious your take because there were a lot of chat pros. So let me just open it really quick. My basic question on this one, I know I have 7.4 big blinds, but if under the gun +1 raises first in, am I still supposed to shove with ace jack off?
It's much more annoying, but I think you do because you have high card value.
Okay.
I think you do.
So I
think you do, but I'm really mad about it. I'm not happy about this. Like ace 10 off, I think I would fold.
Yeah, I'm not happy about it either, but I'm supposed to?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay.
Dude, I'm thinking like if a 7 big blind stack jammed, like yeah, I think so. I think you're just in. It's like it's not appealing. It's not like this spot's worth like so much, you know?
Yeah.
It's just like okay,
it's
like
just
you can just beat Queen 10.
Okay, and
Beat
then
Jack 10.
the other question, so I was competing against two other creators, and one of them had like 20 bigs, the other had 18 bigs. Whoever lasts the longest makes 30K. Does that change how I think about it?
Not particularly. I would still be all in.
You would still be all in.
Yeah, because even then we're still in 3 of 3,
Okay.
and we'll need to win chips at some point. And this, I think, is just I think it's just good enough.
Okay. Well, this is the hand
Yeah.
I lost on. But it's okay. You do what you have
It's
to do.
okay. We move on.
Okay. This one I folded. Am I supposed to also shove here with King 8 suited, 7.8 big blinds, under the gun +1 raises? Is
No,
this...
like I would fold this one.
Yes, I folded it and I got shit from chat.
No, it's great.
Okay. Sorry.
It's great.
There's so many chat bros, and I was so tilted at everybody telling
No,
me
it's
that was
good.
wrong. Okay.
It's not wrong. You're right.
Okay. Thank you.
Sharp.
Okay. Let's see. This one I think was a mistake.
Let's find out.
Sorry, it's taking so long.
No, you're good.
Okay.
I like that that eclipse. All in. This has to be all in.
Yeah, I know. So again, because I kept thinking about the fact that there's two other creators in, I only raised,
Yeah.
but this had to be a shove, right?
This had to be a shove.
Okay. Makes
Yeah.
sense.
Too much good stuff happens when you shove.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Let's see. Didn't want to play, but raised anyway. Let me check if this was okay.
Base description.
Okay, I mean, this is...
Yeah, this is a raise.
This is a raise, right? Okay.
It's pure, like must raise.
I must raise even if I don't want to, yes?
Even if you don't want to, yeah, ace 8 off's too good.
Yeah, okay, all right. So I did that. I didn't want to, but I did it. It's funny how you're
Good
in
job.
positions where you're supposed to do something, but you don't want to.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it's just going to be spots where it doesn't really feel too appealing when you open, just because it's kind of new. But to me, it's like seeing ace 8 off there is like a layup open from cutoff. You know?
Yeah.
It's like if you see a pin somewhere, I'm like, where the fuck is the pin type shit. You know, like it just becomes natural to you.
Okay, sounds good. For King Jack off, you're not supposed to play under the gun under 20 big blinds, right?
King Jack off under the gun. I think you can maybe get away with it. I think you can min. I think it's the bottom. I would fold Queen Jack.
Okay.
Oh, this is 14.5. I would fold. I'd be okay with folding here.
You'd be okay with folding? Is this
I'd be okay with
is this a
folding.
shove or fold range?
No.
So I am I am okay to just 2.5.
You're okay to raise, but I would go min raise because you're so polar, right? Polar strategy meaning you're going to have a hand that's really good or it's going to be not good enough to continue.
Wait.
Aces,
So here
Yeah.
you would have raised just 2 big blinds?
Correct. Because we're not supposed to raise that many hands.
Yeah.
We're not really trying to play that much. So when we are, we can be very selective about the price that we lay. So
Is it just a smaller raise based on the amount of blinds, kind of similar to the stuff we were discussing before?
blinds in position. So normally, if you have like call it 30 bigs plus,
Yeah.
and you raise 2.5 bigs
Yeah.
from the button,
Yeah.
you're gonna raise more. But if you're earlier, you don't have to raise 2.5 because you're risking so much opening into 7 other people.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. I didn't think about that. I have a little notebook just so that I could remember things a little bit better. Okay,
Yeah.
so King Jack, you would be able to fold, but it's kind of at the cutoff, right?
Yeah, the earlier you are in position, the less you have to go for your raise size.
Okay.
And the less you
Raise size.
open.
Yeah. No,
And then
I'm aware of that. I just wasn't sure if King Jack off was there or not.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
in the future, do you think I should just be folding those or playing them with 2?
I think I would min raise.
Min
I think
raise.
I would min raise King Jack. Yeah, I
Okay.
would fold Queen Jack. I'd open King Jack.
Okay. All right. This was another one I wanted to see. Oh, let me just close. I just really don't want my computer, my little laptop to freeze. You know what I mean?
I most certainly do.
Okay. All right. So let's play it. Is it playing?
Yes, it is.
It is playing. Okay. Against under the gun, I actually don't know what you're supposed to do. Yeah, so I wasn't sure what to do here with ace jack off because it's not like ace queen off. I sometimes 3-bet bluff it. Ace jack off is a little underneath. Could I just fold this?
So ace jack off here, ace queen off is definitely an all in.
Right.
I think versus Brazil, versus Brazil, I think I just go for it. Yeah, I think I would just be all in.
Really?
I think I'll just be all in.
Do you really stereotype people by country that much?
Yeah, Brazil is a special country.
Okay, because everybody always talks about this, and like I understand the stereotypes, but you would really go all in?
Yeah.
Okay, let's assume he's not Brazilian.
I think it's still all in, but like versus Brazil, I'm way happier about it. Let me check here. I'm
really curious what a solver says.
I think ace jack is bottom. Ace 10 I would fold. Ace jack I think is in. You actually have like a lot of these spots that you've had have been very like cuspy.
I know
like
that's why I was not sure about these.
Like ace queen off, like very clear all in.
It's also 8-handed, by the way.
Let me go to the wizard. I'm just gonna pull up a wizard. And then hijack.
Thank you for pulling
you're all in. Ace jack is bottom. Ace jack is bottom. Ace 10 mixes fold.
Ace 10 mixes fold. Ace jack off shoves.
Yep. Ace jack's bottom.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
And it's bottom for what amount of blinds?
Let me check. It might be. Let me check 15. One second. Check. So I'll check. Well, it's definitely not going to go all in for 7. Oh, it does. So even for 17, you're mixing call and jam for the ace jack off, and then let me go up to 20. Yeah, it's just good enough. Yeah. So you don't pilot at 20. So 17.
So 17 is kind of the cutoff. Okay. I don't.
Yep.
For things like this, do you just learn them by like reviewing your hands, or do you understand why you're supposed to do at 17?
You just train it. Like you just play enough of the trainer spots, and then you kind of see the shape of the range.
Okay. Okay.
But that's just stuff that comes over time. It's like puzzle rushing.
I appreciate it. Okay, cool. Thank you. All right. Next. Oh, interesting. I think this one I wasn't sure if I'm supposed to raise or shove. I had ace king off with 10 bigs. And it folded to me. So, are you supposed to raise or shove?
I think you shove this one because you have offsuit ace king.
Okay.
Suited ace king, I think you would induce.
Okay.
But I think the offsuit version, I think you can pile.
Okay.
Just because, yeah. So I can send you a little I can send you a little here. I can send you these chart pictures.
Thank you. I'll open them on my phone. Okay.
Yep. So this is button. Yep. This is a shove.
Okay.
This is button off a 10.
All right.
So the purple is just all in.
Okay. Button off 10. Interesting. So the things you raise with are like jacks, queens, kings, aces, and then some bluffs. Like queen 4 suited.
Yeah, so
wait, queen 4 suited, actually, 10 blinds you raise?
No, you limp. This is a call range because like when you're so short, instead of playing min raise, you rather just like limp for chips. Just because it's not that hard to get the money in anyways. So now you want to mix limps and all ins. So you have your hands that you want to go all in, and then you can play some calls. No, you can also limp from the cutoff as well.
Okay, and is this only when you're very low on blinds?
This is when you're very, very low, yeah.
Okay.
Because now instead of raising to induce, the stack to pot's gonna be so low that you can just limp to force the big blind to play, even if nobody raises you.
Okay. Okay, interesting. I had no idea. So button and cutoff, 10 bigs, you can limp.
Yeah, you can limp as late as the hijack, but yeah, mostly button and cutoff.
Ah, okay. Interesting.
It's a very, very short, it's only 8% of range, right? So you're only limping jacks plus, and then some suited hands that you don't want to go all in with because they feel kind of bad, but you don't want to fold them.
But you also have bluffs. Like this has king 2 suited.
Correct. You have king deuce, queen 3, queen 4, queen 5. So your balance comes from suited hands that you don't really want to jam pre because they're too weak.
Yeah.
And then you have some high card offsuit hands that are too weak to jam as well, like the king 8 offsuit, Jack 9 offsuit, Queen 9
Okay.
type stuff.
All right, next. Okay, so here I'm pretty sure I had 9-8 offsuit, and I had one big blind to call on the big blind, and I assume I just call here, but
I would call, yeah.
You would call. Okay, cool. On the big blind, at what point are you folding?
It just depends on your chip stack as a whole, because the less chips you have, like or someone has, the less the effective stack, the more you play, because now you're just trying to flop a pair and then get the money in.
Okay.
Even if it's a bad one, just because you're getting too good of a price.
Okay.
Like the reason why you don't want to defend when you're deeper sometimes is because they can like push you off equity with big bets. But if you have like second pair or bottom pair when you're shorter, you can just play check raise all in and get to realize all your equity.
Okay.
Yep.
Let me see how I played it here.
Yep, double gutter. Double gutter is pretty good.
So I can check here, right?
Of course.
Yep.
Out of range check, out of position, no flop.
Call, right?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think I would just always call because you have a double gutter.
Yeah.
And if you check raise and get jammed on, that's really annoying.
Yep. Especially because he has 12 bigs, right?
Right. So like, you'd have to call off if you raised. So you'd want to raise hands that are like really good and need protection and value, like Queen Jack, King Jack, stuff like that.
Yep.
And then you want to have like 3 of the same suit, but a backdoor, like Queen 6 of diamonds type hand, where it's like if you get jammed on, you're not risking very much, but you do have some good interaction. And you also want to have bluffs as well.
Okay, so Queen 6 of diamonds is a potential 3-bet bluff here.
Or just a, yeah, well, yes, just the check raise.
That's the check raise. Okay.
Same idea. Yeah.
Okay.
Let me see if I can. Let me see if I'm not spreading misinformation on the internet. One second. I'm just gonna quickly pull up.
Do you want to see how badly I got burnt here, Landon?
Ooh, you could actually bet the turn on the 7.
Really?
I think so. Let me check. Just because the idea is that you check call with a lot of 7s, right? And you check fold a lot of nonsense.
Wait. Say this. I check call with a lot of 7s.
With the 7.
Oh, right. So I could definitely have it. But so can, I guess, but no, he's a raiser, so he can't have it, really.
Well, he can sometimes, but when you call, you're never folding a 7 to the bet.
Yeah.
But you are folding a bunch of garbage. Oh, by the way, the Queen 6 is not misinformation. It's good.
It's good.
I'll send you a picture.
Okay, don't worry.
Good. Yeah.
Chat pros are disagreeing. But luckily we have you and a solver.
I have a solver. Yeah, me and the solver we're boys.
Okay, so I could have actually raised the turn.
Just bet. Yeah, you just could have. You probably could have led.
And what percent of pot would you bet here and why?
So the idea in this spot, you don't bet very often. It's a very, very narrow percent of your range, like only 4%.
Oh,
but
shit.
the idea just as a whole, it's not just for this spot, but for other spots as well, is that when they open early, right? When they have when they have a tighter range, you want to be a lot more polar with the bet size that you choose because you're representing a 7 only, right? But if he opens the button, you can lead for small because they have a wider range. So you're making them defend wider. So in this spot, if you're trying to represent a 7, what size would you choose?
A big size, because I'm either bluffing or I have it.
What does that big size mean? Like if he has 12.5 bigs and and there's 8.5 in the pot, how much would you bet?
Maybe like 6.
Yeah, so you can go a little bit smaller, go like 4, because once you bet and then he calls, the stack to pot's gonna be so low anyways.
Like he needs to be. I need to be able to get more money from him on the river, right?
You're basically giving yourself a better price to bluff the turn, as well as making him defend less combos on the river.
Got it.
Because of the odds that you're giving him.
Got it. So I'm doing something like 4, because I want to give him some chips and to defend against the combos.
Correct. Like if you go too big, he then only needs to call with like a jack or like some high card potential stuff on the turn, and then on the river, the stack to pot's going to be so low. But because when you bet and he calls, the stack to pot's going to decrease, we need to be careful about how we're putting chips in the pot.
Okay.
If that makes sense. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
Are you ready to see this bloodbath?
I am ready.
Here, I'll move the speed higher so that I. Okay.
Oh, it's good.
Whoa.
We have a straight.
A straight.
What do we do and why?
I checked because I was trying to induce.
Induce what?
Well, I thought he was going to bet. I thought that if I bet, I might be scaring him off, but I guess that doesn't really make sense since I only called him.
Well, yeah. In this spot particularly, I would be very quick to just pile and just go all in.
Okay.
The reason being we don't have any cards that touch the board, and we are going to have a good amount of bluffs as well.
Yeah.
Like when he raises, where is he? He's under than 7. So when he raises and we call, and then we check call flop. Here, hold on. I'm just gonna pull up the board on the side just so I can kind of give you some quick stuff. But the idea being we don't block the board. We have a lot of ace highs that we have to float.
Yep.
But when we do call flop, this 6 is really good for our range, right? Because we have hands like 8-9. We have hands like 3-4 suited, right? We're not gonna fold a gut shot on flop. We just have to call. So we're going to have a lot of 7x. We're going to have a jack. So a jack is worth all in, and we need to make him call high cards.
Got it.
If that makes sense.
Got it.
So the idea being we don't block the stuff on the board. We are going to have bluffs as well. We want to represent that we have at least a jack, because a jack is good enough to go all in here. Okay. And if he has a better hand somehow, he has a better hand somehow. Like, God bless.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. Do you want to see what happened?
I would love to. Like, the way I would play this hand is I would check call flop, turn check check, river I would jam. No, so if he bets, I'm calling. Like, it's not even... Yeah, sure. Sure. Like, take my money.
I know,
you
right?
Got me. You got me. Yeah.
Feels bad, man.
Feels really bad.
Yeah.
Feels really bad.
Okay, but I understand why I was supposed to jam there. That makes sense.
Yeah, I would pile just because I don't block anything. I have a 7.
And
I
again,
need to get my money
saying,
from a 7.
When you're saying you don't block anything, you're just talking about, like, I don't have a 5 or a 7 or, like, all of the things that he could have.
Yes, like, he can just have, like, Jack 10 that checks back.
Yeah.
He could just have, maybe he has overpairs, he's getting sneaky, right? Maybe he has, like, aces and kings that he checks.
Yeah.
Maybe he has high cards, like, he has ace king high, and now he has to be like, oh, shit. Like, I'm looking at the solve right now, and ace-queen has to call you. Like, ace-queen high.
Really?
Yep. Because when you call the flop bet...
though, you know? No, I'm just kidding. Okay. Yeah. Wait, why do you have to call... Okay, can you explain to me why you have to call with ace-queen?
Yeah. So when you call flop facing his bet...
Yes.
You're going to have a lot of high cards.
Yes.
Like, you're going to have ace-9 suited. You're going to have ace-8 suited. Hands like these, right? You're gonna have... Which means you're going to have king-9 suited sometimes. Like, you just need to continue with 3 to a flush and 3 to a straight.
King 9 suited? Because there's...
On flop versus the small bet.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
you get a good price. Yep, it's an over, and it's a backdoor draw, and you can bluff later.
Okay. Okay.
I know, it's a lot.
Yeah, for me, that's still very confusing, but I'll hopefully be getting the hang of it.
You will get there, yeah. So, like, you have to peel a lot of these cards that are high cards and not paired, but you can turn a lot of equity.
When you say I have to peel a lot of them, like I have to play with them?
Yep, you just have to call the bet.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, instead of check raising, you can just, like, call.
Okay.
Because now, on the turn 7, it goes check, check, you have bluffs on river.
Yes. Okay.
Right, so now on the river, you're always betting when you have king 9, because you have nothing.
Yeah.
But that's kind of why the solve has to call ace high, is because you have all of these 3 to a straight, 3 to a flush hands that didn't check raise flop, and you also have a good amount of bluffs in the sense of having, like, you can have 10-9, you can have 10-8, right? You can have, like, those gut shots that didn't get there.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of available bluffs to you.
Okay.
So when that's the case, the machine is just like, well, like, ace high beats all the bluffs.
Yeah.
And it blocks your jack, right? So if he has ace queen, he blocks you from having ace jack and queen jack.
Got it. Damn,
make
that's
sense?
wild. Because I feel like if I had ace queen in his position and I called, all of chat would be like, Keck W, she's an idiot. But yeah, the way
Yeah,
you
of course.
explain it does make sense.
Yeah, because honestly, the way that call it new school versus old school bluff catching,
Yeah.
new school bluff catching is very, very predicated on what are they trying to represent and how do my cards either help or hurt me.
Yep.
And then way back when, like bluff catching used to be like, oh, I had 3 of a kind, like I can't fold, right? Or it's
Yeah.
like I have 2 pair, like I need to see what he has. Where in some spots I'm folding 2 pair and I'm calling ace high.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
just a matter of how good are my cards at not blocking him from bluffing and blocking his value hands.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Where were we? This is 9-8 off. Okay. Let's see. Oh, this one I think I was supposed to fold, but I'm just gonna double check. Okay, so pocket eights on the cutoff. Sorry, let me make it go faster.
You're good in a rush.
Okay.
Can we open?
So I open.
Yep.
And I get re-raised.
I think you can pile this one. I think you can jam.
What?
I think you can jam button cutoff, yeah.
Jam?
I think you can jam.
Oh my god, I would not have
Let me
thought.
find
With
out.
40 big blinds, you psycho.
Sometimes you jam like 60. Like you just put in money. You just put in infinite with like queens and like ace 5 suited.
Oh,
You're just like, good
God.
luck. Yeah, I know.
That I don't feel good about that.
Neither do I.
But
But
I don't
sometimes,
like this.
Yeah, neither. You do what needs to be done.
My face on where I froze this is
Yeah.
exactly how I feel about jamming.
See, look here. I'll send you a picture. Look at this picture.
Okay, show me where it
Here's your
says you're
picture.
supposed to do that.
Honestly, a lot of this to me is like
Holy smokes!
a lot of this to me is like good pre-flop practice because it like reminds me
the
of
purple says all in, right?
the purple's all in. Yeah,
Guys,
so king
you're
jack
supposed
suited,
to
you're pure
jam
all in.
this. That's insane.
Yeah, I would be also. I think jamming for you would work a lot better too because they're trying to isolate wide on the button as a 3-better.
1 second, chat
'Cause they're
wants
like-
me to show. I only have it on
Yeah.
my phone. Actually, you know what? I could, if chat you really want to show, because you guys are learning, I will try to put it up for you here. Let me see. 1 second, chat. Sorry, Landon, I'm working off of one screen.
No,
Okay,
you're good.
guys, here is the chart Landon is talking about that we put it in. Okay, and the purple is going on all in. So as you can see, basically with 7s and ups, you're jamming ace king suited, ace queen off. Ace king off, you're jamming? Ace queen off?
Yeah, you just gotta pile it. Yep.
That's, again,
Because
insane to me.
I'll show you the button range. Yeah, I'll show you the button range, and here's why.
Okay.
Basically, the button range is supposed to be very wide, and ace king off, you're just trying to get the fold pre. And if you get called, you just flip, you just run it.
Okay, chat. Sorry, let me show you guys what he's talking about. So what Landon is saying is that is the button 3-bet range that wide? So this is what our
Yes.
opponent is supposed to be doing. Can you explain the colors because it's too big on my screen right now?
Yeah, so orange is 3-bet, green is call, blue is fold.
Orange is 3-bet. Okay, got it. Interesting.
So the idea is that the button's supposed to be pretty wide with the 3-bets.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be wide with your open from the cutoff.
Right.
Because you're going to open ace-8 offsuit, right? You're going to open all the way down to ace-5 offsuit from the cutoff.
Yeah.
So because you're raising so much, the button, as well as being in position and having an advantage, wants to make you have a tough spot.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So now instead of playing out of position, you just say like, fuck it, we ball. And you just
Okay.
jam.
Okay, that is fascinating.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Ace-5 suited, by the way. Big jam hand.
which one? Sorry.
Ace-5, ace-4. The
For-
suited
oh,
wheel.
for me?
Yep, for 40.
Oh yeah, I see it. Ace 5 suited, ace 4 suited. Again, that makes sense. Okay.
It's scary, but we do what needs to be done.
We do what needs to be done. Okay.
We do what needs to be done.
Okay. Wild. All right. Good to know. Let's see. Oh, I don't know if I played this properly. You know, I do think I was playing with a little bit of fear yesterday.
Yeah, it's very normal. You're playing a 5K versus very, very good poker players. I would be very scared too.
There's like 2 other creators left and a 30K lasts longer, so it kind of was messing with me.
Yeah, there's a lot. Well, there's just a lot of stuff going on, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So ace 2 suited in the big. I end up just calling here.
I think it's good.
Okay. What would I 3-bet
tips.
with? Like ace 4 suited or something?
I think you would use ace-4 offsuit to go all in. And the reason for that is your suited hands do too well, but your offsuit hands benefit a lot from getting folds, as well as you do okay versus like king-queen offsuit, king-queen suited hands like this. So if the cutoff raises, and I'll show you the big blind range, so I'll just put it in the chat.
Yeah.
Yep, ace-5 off, ace-4 off, go all in, and your suited hands just call.
Okay.
So ace-2 suited calling here is very good.
Okay, hang on. I'm opening it for chat as well if they want to see the range. Okay, guys, this is the range that I should be having here.
I'll show you
orange is
now.
going all in, right?
Nope. Sorry, this is the one. Purple.
Yeah,
that was the button 3-bet.
Okay, yeah. You're right.
So you see here we have all the suited high cards, the offsuit high cards, so ace-10 off plus.
One second. Let me bring it up. Okay, say it again.
So we have the suited high cards, right? Ace-king, ace-queen, ace-jack. We're not playing very many raises, because at 20 big blinds, if you have aces, you can just call the big blind and check raise a lot of flops.
Yep.
So you don't want to play any 3-bet non-all-ins. Now, we see that the pairs really want to go all in. Because playing the small pairs out of position is kind of tough. Because if you have like pocket 3s and the board comes 10-4-4, what are we doing?
Yep.
But if we go all in, they can fold pre-flop, and if they call us, we can win the flip.
And we're also jamming things like suited connectors, like 9-8.
Mm-hmm. Yep, 9-8, 10-9, jack 10. Yep.
Why do you shove with like king 7 but not king 9?
So king 9's a little bit too good, and the king 7, it's kind of like a meme where like ace 5 started becoming popular, and then like people started seeing king 7, and just from in theory solver land, like it kind of likes the suited kings like this because it unblocks the offsuit ace x fold.
Wait. Slow down. It unblocks the ace x fold. Can you explain that?
Yeah, so you see when the cutoff raises, they have all these ace highs?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. So when the cutoff raises, here, I'll send you this range. This is the cutoff range.
Okay, hang on. I'm bringing that up. Did you just send it?
I did now.
Okay. All right, so this is the cutoff range.
Mm-hmm. So now, when we're in the big blind, we have like king 8 suited type stuff.
Yep.
We don't have an ace in our hand, but we do have a lot of equity, and our king with showdown, like the king 8s, are a little bit too weak. Or they just do fine versus the pairs, because the buttons or the cutoff's going to call us with 4s, 5s, 6s, as well as we're getting a lot of stuff that's better than us to fold. So if we go all in with king 7, they fold king 9 off. They fold king 10.
So to have it more simplified, the king 7, that means that he's less likely to have 7s.
Yes.
He's less likely to have 8s, and anything about 8s is a little too strong to go all in.
Right. Okay. And we just block those pairs. We do okay if he has 6s, 5s, and 4s, as well as we get better offsuit kings to fold.
Okay.
So because we have king 8 suited, and we get a hand like king 9 offsuit to fold, here I'll show you the cutoff call range. So here's kind of how some mechanics work.
Don't worry, chat. I have more charts for you. More charts are coming. Is everybody excited?
Charts are coming. Charts in the chat.
Okay, so this is his range after I do that?
This is his range after you go all in, yeah. So you see king 9, king 10, king jack, king queen offsuit.
Yep.
So because all of those fold, that's really good for a hand like king 8 suited.
Got it.
Does it make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Interesting.
We don't want to go all in with king 9 suited because we block king 9 offsuit. And we don't want to go all in with king jack or king queen because we dominate all of these offsuits.
Got it.
Right? If you have king queen suited, you dominate king jack offsuit. That folds if we were to go all in.
Got it.
But if we have king queen offsuit as the big blind, we want to go all in because our hand's not as good as king queen suited.
Yeah.
We have less equity in the sense of it's harder to play post flop when you have king queen offsuit, but the high card value is worth a lot, and winning the pot pre-flop is nice.
Got it. Okay, thank you. I
Mm-hmm.
have so many chats
I know, it's a
on my
lot.
OBS. Hang on, let me just delete them so that my laptop does
Yeah,
not
move
freeze.
Yeah. Get the charts out. No more charts.
Okay. No, the charts do help.
Charts are good.
Oh man. Okay. All right, that's good to know. Next. Where were we?
We're looking at ace deuce of hearts. Oh, I thought you wanted to look at post flop.
Oh yeah, I did. I don't know why I closed it. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. It's fine.
My bad. Okay, we're loading. Speed 2x. Here we go.
I remember seeing this one in real time, actually.
You did?
I
I
think I told you to check. I told you to check. Yeah, I told you to check raise flop.
Yeah. Oh, damn it. Sorry. I thought it was a
No,
a
you're
clip.
good.
We're gonna have to go to this one more time. Okay. Settings. Okay. All right. So we're at 2x. Ace 2 suited has too much equity, which is why I just call.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is the check okay?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
So, out of position here, I'm always going to play range checks on these boards.
Right. That makes sense. Yep.
Yeah. Like,
also, what is this one big blind raise? I'm so confused. Am I getting
is one big blind
trolled?
bet?
Yeah.
No. He's making you defend up very, very wide and play aggressively. So, when he bets small, you have to defend about half of your range.
Right.
So you have to call like half the time. And sometimes that means you have to call like some really, really bad hands.
Okay.
But on this board, when you bet small, you're mostly defending through check raising or folding.
Interesting. So was I
So here, I'll
supposed to
show
check
you.
raise?
Yes. The idea being that you have a lot of equity, and the deuce of hearts is very good at making him have really bad cards.
Why is the deuce of hearts good at making him have bad cards?
If you have the deuce of hearts, it's more likely he can have like king 9 off with no heart. Does that make sense?
No. I'm sorry.
Okay. No, you're good. So you see the cutoff range? Like this.
Hang on.
I'll ping it.
1 second. Okay, so the cutoff in this position is his range. I'm opening it. 1 second. Okay, I opened it.
Okay. So now you see all of these cards in his range that don't have the 2 in it?
Yeah, I mean, none of them. The only one that has a 2 in it is ace 2 suited barely.
Yeah, exactly. So the point of that, I think that's the cutoff range. Yeah, that's the cutoff. So the point of that is now that because we have the 2 of hearts, it's more likely he has a bunch of garbage. Right? Because the 2 doesn't interfere with his opens.
Okay.
This is like it's a very important mechanic in the sense of having it's called like an unblocker, which means if I have ace deuce of hearts, he could have queen 7 of spades, right? He can have queen 6 of diamonds.
Okay, I feel like I am learning something very crazy. So he can have, but how is me having ace 2? Like he could still have jacks or queens or king queen or all of those.
Yeah, he could still have those anyways. So now we're more worried about making him have hands that aren't very good. Because if he has really good hands, we're getting stacked off anyways, and the ace block blocks aces as well as
Oh, are you
deuce.
saying like if we had something like an 8 that would have blocked queen 8 suit or like some of his worst cards?
Yes, exactly.
Oh,
Right,
I
you see all the
understand.
8s in his range and the 7s?
Yes.
Right, so now we want to have a 2 because it doesn't block the jack 7 of diamonds, it doesn't block the queen 8 of spades.
Oh, interesting.
Does that make sense?
Interesting. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, she gets it. Look, and this is honestly, like, once you get that, it makes a lot more sense for the hands that you want to check raise. Because now we have a lot of equity with the flush draw, and the deuce does a really good job for us not blocking the garbage.
Right, because so basically, like if I had some 8 hand, that would block king 8, queen 8, jack 8, 10 8, 9 8, right?
Yes.
So that's
exactly.
4 bad hands that it would block.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So the 2 makes it so they have all the 8s, all the 7s, all the 9s, all the 10s, right?
Yes, right. And
Well,
again,
10s
you're
being a
always
pair
trying
on
to
the
think
board,
like,
but-
I'm playing against their range. What percentage of the
Yes.
time am I winning? Yes. Okay.
Yep. So
Okay,
now,
that
if you,
actually,
yep,
that makes sense now. Okay, so because I have the 2, I should be check raising.
yep, it's a good start.
Okay,
Because
and
you're
how
either going to
much-
have a 4 or a 10.
What bet size should I have done if he bet like 1 big blind?
What bet size do you think you should do?
I am out of position.
Mm-hmm.
And I have under 20 bigs. So is that around like 3.5?
So, point being here, when you play check raises, if he has a really good hand, like jacks, queens, kings, aces, or like a 10, he's probably not going to fold it at any point,
Yep.
unless the board gets really bad,
Yep.
right? So, when we raise, we're just trying to target the offsuit nonsense, right? Because if he bets 1 big blind, and you raise, and he has queen 8 of diamonds, he can't call.
Right.
It doesn't matter how big you make the raise,
So are you
right?
saying I could make it smaller because he can't call with the
Yes.
bad cards and he's only calling with the good cards?
Correct.
Okay,
Very
so
good.
are you like min raising him?
You can go like 2.5, yeah. You can go very small.
Okay. Interesting.
Because because now you don't have to really try that hard to make him fold a bunch of hands. Because if you check raise and he has a hand like ace king with a heart, he's never folding.
Yeah.
His hand's too good.
Yeah.
But if he has ace king with no heart and you go 2.5x, he's gonna have a pretty tough time on some turns if he doesn't improve.
Okay, that's
That
fascinating.
makes sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. Okay.
Some boards you want to play faster, right? But 10-4-4, like if you have a 4, you don't want to scare him off.
Yeah.
And
And also,
so if you have a 4, you don't. Yep.
yeah, no, that makes sense. Was checking the turn okay?
Yeah. So when you check call flop, I would never lead the turn.
Okay.
I would just let him keep doing his thing.
Okay. And then here, am I supposed? What would you do here?
I would check a lot on the end because the king is going to be really good for his range.
Okay. So me betting
make
was
sense?
not good.
I don't know about like not good or bad. It can't be that bad, right? You have enough flush, and you're like, it's hard for it to be bad. My thinking is that when we check back, or when he checks back the turn, the king is going to be a really good card for him to represent.
Yeah.
Because he's going to have king queen, ace king, king jack, right?
Yep.
A lot of the really good kings, and we're going to have a lot of middling kind of strength hands, right? Like we're going to have maybe some like a 10, and we're probably not going to want to bet a 10.
Yep.
We're going to have potentially a 5 if we have like ace of hearts 5, right? Like enough flush draw with a 5 and a backdoor wheel draw.
Okay.
So we have some of these weak hands that we don't really want to put money in with ourselves, and we want to protect our range overall and kind of let him do his thing.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
I think it's different if the river is like an offsuit 3.
Yeah.
But on a king, it's like, oh, this isn't really good for us because we're going to have a lot of 10s.
Yep.
And he's going to have a lot of kings.
Yep.
So because of that, I want to check to him and induce.
Yep.
Because if he has a king, he's going to value bet. And if he has a bluff, he's going to bluff.
Yep.
And sometimes you make money from when they bluff instead of trying to get them to put in more money themselves.
Yeah. Okay. You want to see the weirdest play that he did?
Let's see.
I am still confused. Maybe you can explain.
Yeah, so he jammed king queen. He jammed for value.
Okay.
Like, he thought that you had like a weak 10.
Yeah.
Or like a king, like king jack with a heart.
Is it okay to do that though with flush possibilities on the board?
Yep. If you have a flush, you have a flush. Like, unlucky for him. I think his line is good. I think him jamming makes a lot of sense.
Interesting. Because I would have
yeah.
called with like a 10.
Maybe. You might have called with like queen 10, right? Queen 10 with the queen of hearts. Yeah. So even though it looks like he could lose to a flush, he can lose to a flush anyways, but he wants to beat the parts of your range that need to give him money.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Good to know.
Like I'm looking at the machine, I'm looking at the solve right now, and like once you bet river for block, he has like a pure all in.
Interesting. So he played it correctly.
Yeah. He played well. Yeah.
Huh.
I know.
Okay.
A lot of stuff that looks very weird is actually
Yeah.
probably like pretty decent. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And let me know when you have to go, by the way.
Oh, I don't.
Okay.
So whenever.
Okay. So here we go. I have 30 bigs.
Mm-hmm.
I raised.
Okay. I think c-betting flop is a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
Going quarter pot. Like you're gonna have ace king, king queen, and then you're gonna have some hands with some equity, right? You're gonna have queen jack, jack 10, and then you're also gonna have some diamonds, and they're gonna have a lot of weaker hands because from the small blind he's gonna have some small pairs.
Yeah.
And the big blind's gonna continue with a lot of any, like not any two, but a very wide range because he's in position on the small blind.
Got it. That
So
makes sense.
if you go 25% pot and they check raise, you can still call with
Why
the ace of diamonds.
25%?
Because into two people, we don't have to bet very big, right? We're already saying we have a pretty good hand.
Yep. That makes sense. Okay. And then here I decided to bet since they all checked.
I would check now because we have showdown value, and now I'm scared in the sense of it's not hard to get called by worse.
Yeah.
But we open ourselves up to some tough spots.
Like this spot.
Yeah, like I would call turn.
Okay, so you would call here?
I would call for sure. Yeah.
Okay, but you would have checked first.
I would have checked. Yeah, I would have checked back. Yeah,
No,
and
that
then
makes
bluff caught
sense.
the river.
That makes sense, the showdown value. And then here he puts me all in.
Yeah, I think you have like a pretty decent call, to be honest, because I don't think he's gonna check that many good hands twice.
Right.
Like or once, like on the turn. So when he check raises, your jack does a very good job at blocking his two pair.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Right.
Like he's not really repping a king. He's repping better than a king. Like he's saying he has
So his check raise is repping straight here, like queen 10?
It's repping two pair plus.
Okay. But because
So, like,
I
with your
have a jack.
jack-
Yeah.
Yep, and you have a good jack too. You have the jack of hearts that blocks jack 9 suited, and it blocks which is a hand he's gonna call with from the small blind. So you have pretty good card. Like he's never gonna bluff like this if he has the ace of diamonds in his hand. And if you have the jack of hearts, you block him from having a combination of jack 9.
Right.
And that's really good for you.
Right, because there's already two jacks on the table, so I'm blocking jack 9 of hearts suited.
Right. So the jack of clubs and the 9 of spades block each other. So jack of clubs blocks jack 9 of clubs. 9 of spades blocks jack 9 of spades. Jack of hearts for you blocks jack 9 of hearts.
Man,
so
you're
I think
so
you kind of have a
fast
decent
at
call.
this. Having 15 seconds to play online is very rough.
Yes, it is.
I feel
but
like I'm
it gets
playing
easier
bullet
with time.
chess, and I'm like, I
You
cannot think
are.
of all of this in just 15 seconds, but it's very helpful.
You
okay.
can't yet, but you will.
Okay, so you would call here.
I think playing this hand the way I did, I think calling here is not the most unreasonable because he could also try to be bluffing with a hand like jack 10.
Yeah, okay.
Like he can turn 10-9, jack 10 into bluffs.
Yeah.
Just because he has straight blockers as well as the two pair block.
Got it. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I got him on another one at least.
You're cooking.
Okay, let's see. Let's see if my bet size was okay here. Now she knows how we feel when we play bullet. It's hard, man. Bullet is hard.
Poker is hard.
Okay.
Carry race.
Adrian Mateos, poker god.
Legend. So it's cut off big blind 40.
Is it okay for me to raise here?
Or just
Sorry,
bet? Yeah, you can bet here.
Okay.
Yep. I think half's okay. You can go small too. Because if he once again, right, remember the good hand, bad hand?
Yep.
If he has a hand like king 8 of diamonds, he can't call.
Yep.
So you can go pretty small.
Okay. Okay. Here, do I continue or do I check it through?
So I think on turn, you have an interesting decision where you can definitely decide to double barrel, and you can also decide to check back because he's not going to jam on you. You know, like if he has a flush, he's just gonna call and let you keep cooking. And if he has like a 2-pair hand, it's pretty vulnerable, and he could just run into a flush.
Right.
So when that's the case, your bet size on flop is actually pretty good. You can choose between quarter, third, and like half. So like half with the ace of hearts is fine. So when he calls on turn, I think you can go both ways. You can either decide to bet again, and you can represent a flush, or like a good overpair with a heart. So you can go like 7 big blinds, right? You want to go kind of big, or you could check back.
Got it.
So for you, your hand mixes, or actually no, sorry, ace of hearts, 10 of spades. It's mostly betting, so you're mostly gonna go for like half pot again, and you're gonna bet your overpairs, you're gonna bet your jacks. So you can check, you can bet in both instances, because if you have ace 9, well, that's a pair. You're gonna check back as well, and then sometimes you can still even bet a 9.
Okay. All right, and then here, if he checks to me, what is the appropriate size to bet?
I would polarize. So I would say flush, no flush. So I think I would cap out at pot. Like my bet size would be pot.
Okay, I went a little bit over. I had the same idea, but I went way too big, I guess.
Yeah, it's the right idea. You actually get to play some all-ins here for like 3x pot because you're polarizing. Like you're saying, I have the ace of hearts or I don't.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have ace king, you're gonna have ace queen as your value hands, like with the ace of hearts, and then as a bluff, you're gonna have like 6-5 of diamonds.
Yep.
Like just complete nonsense, right? King 3 of diamonds.
Yep.
And the reason for that is you want to make sure that it's more likely that he's gonna have a pair with the heart. Okay.
I could have king 3 of diamonds here?
Yep. Because you open.
Well, I opened at the cutoff. King 3 of diamonds, you're opening cutoff?
You're opening king deuce.
Suited.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. All right. So the idea was, I was having the same polarizing. I made an overbet, but I understand pot was probably made more sense.
But it's fine. Like it's the correct idea theoretically. It's just about, do you bluff for overbet in that spot?
Yeah.
And that's a different question.
Okay. Let's see. Ace queen.
Yeah, this one.
Oh, did you see this one?
I did.
Okay. Oh yes, this one. I don't know if I like the way you said that. It makes me nervous. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. So ace queen here versus Mateos. What is it? He opens from low jack.
Okay, so ace queen off is one of my, bluff hands. So I bet him. I raised him here. Is that and I'm also out of position. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's good.
Okay.
You just have to be willing to call if he goes all in on you.
Oh, you told me that I had enough equity that I could have called here, right?
If he went all in on
And
you,
also,
yeah.
I don't think I should have bet. I should have just checked to him, right?
I like betting here because
do?
your range is so strong. Like you have so many good hands here.
Because I 3-bet.
Yes. So the size that you choose is actually correct. You do go half pot.
Okay.
This
And
is
then
correct.
I was supposed to call.
And then when he goes all in, I think, you call. You just pure call.
Really?
Yeah. Yep. You just have enough equity.
I hate these spots so much.
I know, because it feels like you have nothing, but in reality, you have an overcard, you have a backdoor flush draw, and a jack can just win you the hand.
Yeah.
And you're not really putting
shot,
money in
backdoor.
because you think you have the best hand. You're putting money in because the pot odds are too good.
Yeah.
You're basically just committed because of the amount that's already in here, right? Because you have to call 22 to win 65.
Yeah.
And that's not that much in all aspects.
That makes
So it's
sense.
like, yeah, this sucks and it feels really shitty, but sometimes you actually might beat a hand like ace 4 of diamonds. So if he has ace 4 of diamonds, he's going to go all in too with enough flush draw. So you actually might win sometimes.
Okay.
If he's playing theoretically, which he's playing very well.
Yeah.
He is one of the best in the world.
Yeah, this guy is cooking. Okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yep.
Okay. Oh yeah, so the small bets, I'm not used to these small bets in cash games, and they confuse the hell out of me. You kind of explained it now, but I saw multiple people, and again, I couldn't tell if I was being trolled or what's happening, and I need to understand this.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so he leads.
Yep.
Okay, we call.
All right. What is betting 1.2 big blinds into 12 big blinds?
I don't know what this is. This is nonsense. This is nonsense. I don't know what this is. I've never seen this in my life, but what I do know is that we have a good hand to actually bluff him.
So here you would have
I would have raised.
Raised?
Mm-hmm.
Would you have just raised 2.4?
No, I'd raise huge. Because now in this spot, he led flop somehow.
Because I'm confused, because in the other one we were supposed to raise small because he's only calling with better. But why are we supposed to raise big here?
In this spot, when we reopen the action and raise, we're saying that we have an ace or better. And we're deeper, right? We have 65 big blinds.
Yeah.
So now we're trying to leverage that we still have ace king in our range, and he has, who knows?
Yeah.
So if I have ace king here, I would raise huge. Like, let's say I just have ace king with a diamond, and he goes 1.2. I would raise to, I want to say like 15.
15?
Because this bet's not really real.
So you'd basically
right?
do like over the, bigger than the
I would
pot
overbet.
size?
Mm-hmm. I would overbet.
Fascinating.
If I had an ace. So if I have pocket fours, I would also do that, right? So we have good cards here that don't... Remember when I was having that conversation about the deuce of hearts being cards in your hand that don't interfere with his nonsense?
Uh-huh.
So with you have 2 4s, that's kind of the same idea, right?
Right.
If you have 2 4s...
They're unblockers. That's... The term is unblockers, right? I'm writing that term down.
Exactly.
Okay.
So now, if you have 2 4s... You still might win on the end with like a magic 4. We're not expecting it, right? A diamond or a club can be good for you because you have like the flush block.
Yeah.
And you don't interfere with him having a hand like 10-9, Jack 10, or flush draws that are going to have the tough time if you go big.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep. Okay.
And I know it's like it seems very scary, but like I call it like back in my day, like when I first started, like I didn't overbet pots or overbet turns. Like
no, that's fair. Also, I think my under the gun and under the gun plus 1 raise has maybe been a little bit too wide. Like king jack off over 50 bigs, you're opening under the gun.
Yeah.
Okay. What
I mean,
about,
4s is definitely an open.
Okay. What pairs are you folding under the gun? Like 3s and lower?
I think that's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
So 4s is your lowest pair, so they're your best on blockers, right?
Okay. All right. Good. Okay. Oh, this one I don't think was interesting. I think this one I tried to bluff. Okay. So I do love suited connectors, and I need to figure out which ones I can play and which ones I can't.
You can play this one.
I can play this one.
This is a good one.
Which ones can I not play? Like 3-2, 4-3?
Correct. Get those out.
Okay,
this
so
is like just
6-5
fine.
is the smallest suited connector I can play.
5-4 is okay too.
What about under the gun?
I would fold from under the gun, but 6-5 from here I'd open. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So 6-5 under the gun plus 1 is okay.
Yeah. The idea being with your 6, you can potentially cooler an ace with a wheel draw straight. Right? If they have ace 2, 3, 4, 5, and you have a 6 in your hand, you beat them.
Interesting. So that's why we like, okay.
Yep.
Okay, so I bet, get a call. I think this dude raised or something. Brazil raises and I just folded.
That's fine. That's good.
That's good. What suited connectors could I call? Also, I heard I heard that 8-9 suited is a little bit better than 10-9 suited because something to do with range that still confuses me, to be honest.
I'd say ace 8-9 suited is probably worse, right? Because if you have 8-9 suited on 10 Jack Queen, you get wrecked by ace king.
No, you do. I need to relook up the theory. But okay, so what is the lowest suited connector you would be okay with to call here?
I think that like you can just have like potentially like I'd fold 8-9 because 8-9 does worse against ace king. 7-8 I would be okay with. Jack 10 I would be okay with. 10-9 I'd be okay with.
Okay.
But 6-5 I would just fold. Like he's not incentivized to play 3-bet pots. And if we call, we're kind of sandwiched between him and the button.
Yep.
So we're gonna have a lot of tough times later. So it's better to just fold now.
Okay.
Yeah, this is good. Good fold.
Okay. Okay. I played 3s under the gun +2. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's good. It's fine.
Okay, this one, I just see wrong question mark as the comment, so let's see what I did here.
Let's see what we got. What do we got?
What did I do? It was nice. I had 160 big blinds at one point. I was living my dream.
Yeah. Yeah.
Didn't last very long.
I was living my dream. Interesting. So if I were to 3-bet, I would 3-bet bigger, but I would mostly play call.
Okay. And if I'm 3-betting, should I be c-betting most of the time? But not on this.
I think you c-bet. I think you c-bet a lot because you have the Queen of Diamonds.
Okay.
So Queen of Diamonds, you have 2 overcards. You block him from continuing with flush draws, and you can get some middly pairs to feel really mad, and you can get some ace highs to fold. So the size that I would choose here is like 75% pot.
That's big.
Because if you have jacks, what size are you gonna go?
Probably around there.
Yeah. What if you have queens or kings or aces? Right, big bet. So if you go big bet with value,
Queens or aces, would I want to bet that big? Because wouldn't I be too likely to get a fold, or I'm just defending against flush?
you're defending against flush. You get called by a 10, and you need protection for your hand anyways.
Okay.
So the size here is big size.
Big size. Okay. So I checked, which was not good.
It's fine.
He bets.
Okay. Do we think about check raising?
I did not think about it.
Because let's say you have aces and you check and you get sneaky. Like now's a good time to spring a trap with an overpairs.
Yeah.
So if you have an overpair, you have good overpair card blockers, right? With king of hearts, queen of diamonds, you're blocking some of the best 10x with the king of hearts. You're blocking king 10 suited, as well as representing that you have the overcard match that that you decided to not c-bet flop with after 3-betting.
And how much would you 3-bet here?
So if he check, I would click the 75% pop button.
Okay.
I would go big because then I'm gonna try to go all in on the turn. If the turn is like I have a spades and I have aces or kings or queens, I would go all in.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah, because the board's scary, and if he has the set, he has a set.
Okay. And I just folded, which was.
Yeah, it feels close. I think folding is fine because like it's not like your decision points are gonna get a lot easier.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think that we probably want to find a flop c-bet potentially. So yeah, king queen. I'm looking at the solve. The solver likes 25% or 75% pot with a quarter of your range, and with king queen, it likes going either 75% or 50%.
With king queen, it likes
So-
75 or 50% where?
On the flop for you.
Okay.
Yeah, instead of checking, it likes when it wants you to bet.
I guess the reason I'm confused is because I know that like my 3-bet range, I mean, I could have top pairs, but I also have like a lot of ace kings.
Yeah,
queen
and you also have a
suited,
lot of
that makes-
overpairs.
Yeah.
So that's why you go big, right? You go big because you're representing you have a really good hand, or you have the bluffs.
Got it. Okay.
So now I'm just looking at check, like facing check and then facing bet. So now if he goes quarter pot, for you, if you have king queen, you can mix check raising. Yeah. So king of hearts queen of diamonds loves check raising. It's like basically a pure action. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Good
And
to know.
yeah, so the sizing you go is like you click the half pop button, and you do the same thing with kings, queens, and aces if you protect and trap with them, and then your flush draws. So if you have king 8, let's say you 3-bet with a hand like king 10 or king 8 of diamonds, king 9 of diamonds, you're going to check raise this hand a lot because you have a flush draw.
Yeah. Okay.
Nice.
Makes sense. I wonder
No
how
worries.
Eric is doing. He's in day 2. I'm just gonna take a quick little peek.
Let's take a peek.
He has 9 bigs left. Aww.
He is fighting.
He's a fighter. Okay, go Eric, go. All right, back to it. Okay. Let's see. Jack, 10 of hearts. Let's look at the one that I tried to bluff. Okay. So I am under the gun +1. Is it okay to be playing threes?
Yep.
Okay.
I would still raise like 2.5x instead of 3x, but it's not a big deal. It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah. B40 is fine. This is good.
When am I not supposed to c-bet here?
This board, it's really good for your range as a whole, right? Because you open so early.
Yep.
So you're going to have a lot of really, really strong cards most of the time. And from the big blind, they get such a good price, they're not going to have that many good cards. So they're going to have a really wide range versus a tighter range.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to like betting a lot's going to be okay. But on the connected boards where it's scarier for you, you're going to want to not bet as much.
That makes sense. And the king is also very good for me, so I just continued here.
I would bet bigger, but yes, good idea.
You would bet pot?
I'll overbet.
Seriously?
Mm-hmm. Because what am I representing when I bet?
Like ace king, ace queen.
Exactly. Well, not ace queen as much. Mostly ace king,
Yeah.
king queen, pocket aces, right?
Yeah.
So now you're very polarizing. So the sides I want to use is a very big bet, right? Polar bet. Really good or really bad hand. And pocket threes with a heart, really good hand to bluff with, right? Remember the magic 3. On the end you can win.
Yep.
The unblockers you can win.
So what would you do here? He's called everything so far.
I'd still bet because now on the ace we have ace king. King queen is still a value hand.
Mm-hmm.
We still have jack 10 for a bluff, and we don't beat anything at showdown. So I would bet again.
And what size would you bet?
With your sizing scheme, I would choose pot.
Okay. I think that's close to what I did. And I was having the same idea with the ace coming out.
Yep. Perfect.
I wonder what I did what size I ended up betting.
What did you do?
Oh, I did 75%.
Fine. It's the same idea. Yeah.
Okay.
I like this bluff. This bluff is actually a very, very good bluff. Even though the sizes aren't, call it perfect, this, like, knowing that you're supposed to bet here is really good.
Okay.
Because so many people look at threes and be like, oh, I have pocket threes, I have showdown, where in reality, you have nothing.
Yep.
Like, you lose.
Yeah, I agree.
Perfect.
Okay, so I was supposed to bet bigger. So if I would have bet the pot on the turn, I should have still bet the pot on the river.
Right. So this is kind of where geometric sizing comes into play. Not this deep, but the idea being if you bet the same size across multiple streets, you're going to get all in by the river for an appropriate size.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
So every spot, there's like a mathematical number that is, call it geometric for 2 streets or geometric for 3 streets.
Yeah.
And I have a chart that I can give to you for it, but depending on the stack to pot.
One
but
step at a time, but you know what?
time.
Send it to me anyway.
Okay. The point, well, it's a good thing to get, like, to look at in the sense of, okay, the stack to pot is 4, which means geometric 2 would be pot. Right? Because if you bet 1 pot into 4 and they call, now there's 3 pots in the middle and you have 3 pots behind.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, so here's your chart. And this is kind of newer school stuff.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna. Don't worry. I know we like chart maxing, guys. So Landon's gonna send it, and I will share.
I'm
it
a
with
chart
you guys.
maxi.
Okay, send
I'm a
over
chart
the chart.
Yeah,
Are
there
you
you
guys
go.
ready? I want some hype for the chart.
Chart hype.
Okay, here I'm giving you guys a chart. Okay, here, Landon, can you explain this a little bit? I remember you've sent it to me before.
Yeah. So 3E just means 3 equal. right? And then 2E just means 2 equal.
When you say 2
So-
equal, that's like 3 when you're betting, trying to get it all in with 3 bets versus 2, right?
Yes. So like if we're looking at SPR, which is stack to pot,
Yeah.
you'll see that the stack to pot is 1-to-1. So 3E is 22% pot. That's just the math and the numbers, you know? I didn't come up with, like, I'm not a scientist, right? It's just, these are the numbers of percentages to get what you want.
And do you
So-
memorize them or do you understand them? How do you get this?
The more that you do it, the more you get there, right? The more that you know if you move like 3 pieces and then you see a pin, like you see the pin.
Okay.
It just takes time. It's just time.
I sometimes get overwhelmed, but you know, like I feel like each time we do this, I retain like 25% of this, but then I keep reviewing and then I'm like, oh yeah, I remember he mentioned that, and it slowly is getting better and better, you know?
Yeah, that's just how you're gonna get better as a whole, because I think most of the times people are so worried about knowing everything, where in reality it's like if you get one step closer every day and like kind of work at it a little bit and then see the same things, and like you'll end up getting to the point of being like, oh yeah, like I remember talking about this, or oh yeah, this is an overbet spot, or oh yeah, this is a polarizing spot.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that
Okay.
stuff just comes with time, you know? It's like you haven't played poker for that long. You play poker for like a few months,
I wouldn't say a few months, but like
even less.
I mean, I've been playing poker for like 2 years now. That being said, when I say playing poker for 2 years, it's not playing straight. It's like going to events and then keeping the rest of my
Exactly.
stuff, you know?
Exactly. I just mean from the sense of like actually looking at some trainer stuff and being
Yeah.
like, okay, let me try to get better versus like, let me just go play.
Yes.
And point being, like, you've come a long way in those X amount of months of training just from looking at the charts, and like this threes hand, or like the hand that you play with 7-8 or whatever it was, that I was like, this is really good.
Yeah.
Like that stuff that like I wasn't doing until like a year ago. So like even though it's overwhelming, it's very, very strong. Like it's very impressive.
All right. Okay, let's see. What else should we look at? Dark mode. I don't know how to go in dark mode on this, guys. Let me see if it has settings. Sorry, just 1 second. There we go. Okay. All right, we're on dark mode. All right, let me just look through this. This was a weird hand, actually.
Oh yeah, this is when you had 2 pair on the turn and then you were able to flush.
Yes.
I remember this one.
Okay. So I'm okay to
close.
call here.
I think it's close. It's like pretty close. I wouldn't mind folding here,
Okay.
but calling's fine.
Okay.
Like it's not gonna lose that much.
I'm supposed to check no matter what, right?
Yes, I would range check here. So on flop, you can potentially consider a check raise,
Interesting.
because if you have pocket sixes, what are you gonna do?
Check. Same thing.
Yeah. So now you have the blocker with the 6, right? You block 2 pairs and block sets.
Yeah.
You also have equity, but you can make you can turn a flush.
Yeah.
And you can also make some really good hands from one of these 2 guys. Very mad, right? If somebody has a hand like ace-9 suited, they're really mad versus bet, call, raise. Even like a weak jack isn't having a good time, right? They have jack 10.
Yep.
And they face like big check raise because it looks like you have pocket sixes.
But they
Scary.
still call that, right?
Maybe, but also we still have turns and rivers to play, right? Where let's say the turn is a king and you go 75% pot. Now who knows if they call a hand like ace jack?
Yeah.
And even if you do get called, you still might win.
Got it. Okay.
So you don't always have to check raise, right? But it's a nice one to logically find, right?
Yep.
Like trying to check raise queen 10 with the spade is good too, because you can make a straight, you can protect on a king.
Is
yeah, like
check
here,
raising
snap
here
raising.
okay?
I would raise bigger. I would check raise bigger
Interesting.
instead of min raising, right? Because we're trying to say, okay, if you have a jack, you're going to have kind of a tougher spot. And if you always call a jack, we want more value.
Wait, but is he always calling a jack even if it's a bigger 3x?
Mm-hmm. It depends on what jack it is. If he
Yeah.
has ace jack, he's going to call. If he has like jack 10, he's might fold.
Got it. So I should have been betting bigger here.
I would check raise bigger, yeah. So if he goes 5,800, I would check raise to like 18,000.
Okay. Okay. It's a little confusing, but I think the reason it's confusing is because like understanding it in this spot, okay, but I think I'm still not sure when I'm supposed to check raise like 2x versus 3x and stuff like that.
Right. So in this spot, we're trying to like what are we trying to say we have?
Heuristics? Here we're trying to say that we maybe have like we have a set
that we didn't check raise flop with, right?
Yeah.
Or let's say we're trying to like the deuce for all intents and purposes, like this deuce of clubs doesn't really change much about anything for our range, right? Sure, in this specific instance, we got lucky that we now have 2 pair.
Mm-hmm.
But when we do check raise, we're trying to be very polarizing. Where in the spot with 10-4-4, we don't have to be polarizing because they have so much garbage. Right? But in this spot, when he bets into multiple people twice, he probably has something decent.
Got it. So the heuristic I would then use for that is more like how likely it is that they have a good hand.
Yes.
Then that's yeah.
Because now, after going bet, he has a pretty decent hand, so we have to raise pretty decently to get him to consider folding.
Yeah.
Where if, let's say the board's 10-10-4, and he bets a lot for one big blind, his range is wider, so now instead of targeting the good hands, we're targeting the bad hands. And we're saying, we want all these bad hands to fold because we want a better price on our bluff, and we can still bluff them later if they do have a decent hand.
Yes. Okay. Okay. That's how I'll try to think about the sizing. Okay.
Yep.
All right. And then here, I had already raised him, so I think instead of checking, I should have just continued to raise.
So on the river, what does your range look like? What does it look like you have that check calls flop, check raises turn?
A set. Or like a two,
set.
Or maybe like a jack 9.
Yeah, like 2 pair, right? Some sneaky 2 pair. And then maybe as a bluff, you might have some flush draws, right? Maybe. So now we have to think about, okay, our range is 2 pair at worst.
Yeah.
But what does he have that's going to call a bet, and what are our bluffs? Because if you don't have that many bluffs, you don't really want to bet big.
Mm-hmm.
Because where's your, like, what bluff do you have? If that makes sense. So in this spot on the end,
8-7 suited.
yeah, that would be a good one, right?
Although it's not a bluff
that's a straight.
Yeah.
That would be a good one on the turn, but exactly. Now you made a straight. So most of the hands that you have that check call, check raise are going to be value hands. Yeah. So now we have to think, okay, what size do we want to go with our entire range? And I would probably just settle on a block. So I'd go 25% pot, bet like 7,500. And the point is, we want him to call with a jack, right? Because if we go all in for 1.5x pot, and he has a jack, he's probably going to fold.
Yep.
And we don't want that.
Okay.
But if he has a straight, right? Let's just say he has a king, queen, that bet turn and got min raised, now he river straight.
Yeah.
If he has a straight, he's going to raise us anyways.
Yep.
So we can bet small and target the 1 pair hands and the over pairs, and then he's going to do the heavy lifting for us with the better ones.
Yep. And he ended up just checking, and he had queen 10.
Yeah. So I think on the end, he might have a decent hand to bluff with, to be honest, because he doesn't really have any showdown value with the 10.
Right.
But he does have some good blocking properties, right?
Yeah.
He blocks the straight, he blocks flushes, and he blocks river to improves.
Okay.
But I think for you, flop, you can consider check raising, check calling is fine. Turn, I would check raise bigger to set up for a river all in. And then on river with the size that you had, I would go block.
Why is 25% a block?
It's just the terminology used for block sizing. So quarter pot's a small bet, and then like 3/4 pot's kind of a bigger bet.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Let's see. Okay, you liked my bluff attempt here.
I think I did, if I saw it correctly.
Okay.
If I saw what I seen, I like it.
If I saw what I seen, okay.
If I saw what I seen.
Okay, let me go back to this hand. So 7-6 suited, again, we agreed this is fine to play.
I would open.
Open, yep.
You get 3-bet.
Yeah.
I would call.
Why?
Because we have good suited cards and we're closing the action, and we want to have board coverage.
Yep.
Let's see what happens now. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, you check raise.
Yeah.
I like this check raise. I would go bigger, right? Because we're representing a set. We're representing ace jack. But I like the check raise.
Okay. So you would have gone bigger here. Again, and when we're going bigger, Okay, so going back to, I'm trying to think of like how likely it is he has a good hand. And here it seems pretty likely, right? Because he re-raised me.
Well,
he's betting again.
Yes. His range is strong, right? He has some good hands.
Yeah.
So if we're check raising, we want him to consider folding at some point with some of those good hands.
Right.
Where versus min raise, he has to call everything.
So that makes sense. So I'm basically not getting him to fold anything.
Exactly. So we're not really doing much. We're not doing ourselves any favors.
That makes sense. Okay.
In the other spot, the 10-10-4 versus cutoff, his range is really wide, right? Like he's opening king deuce suited. Here, he's not 3-betting you with king deuce suited.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Perfect. So now we're targeting a tighter range, which means we need a bigger size.
Yep. Okay. And if I did do a bigger size, and I'm trying to think of what hands he might fold, I'm guessing he might fold like ace king.
Ace king is close, yeah.
Ace queen.
Yep.
Jack 10, but he wouldn't have played that. He wouldn't have had that.
He'll have it sometimes. Low frequency 3-bet.
And then he's basically calling ace jack and jacks plus. So
yes.
What am I getting him to fold?
High cards. King, queen, ace, king. Ace 10 suited, no backdoor. Right, so if you go big, you make him fold some of these hands that are pretty good, but you can also improve and make 2-pair and beat all of his hands.
Okay.
That's why the 6 is nice, right?
Right.
The 6 is pretty based, because like you could turn a 6, have trips, turn a 7, have 2-pair, turn a 5, have an open ender. Yep, turn a 5.
So now I do have an open ender.
Now we want to represent that we have a set, right? We want to say we have a set or we have 2-pair.
Should I have bet
this is
pot?
good. Nope, this is perfect. Perfect.
Wait. Why am I not betting pot here?
Because this is effectively the same thing, and now we have to look at the river stack the pot when he calls us, right? So the difference between pot and 75% pot here is not going to be that big of a deal.
Okay.
Yep. And now, like, our range, now we're super polar, right?
Yep.
We're either saying that we have a full house, we have quads, we have, like, jacks, right? So now we have to be all in or check. But we don't really win after he calls us twice, right?
Yeah. So, right.
So I would
my
jam.
only chance here is to jam.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well.
Sick.
So I just put him all in. And
This is
unfortunately,
fucking sick.
I mean, I thought it was interesting, but then he called and then I felt bad.
No. You did good. You did really good.
I mean, I'm not trying to be results oriented, but when you think like you played a sick bluff and they call, you're like, feels bad, man.
No, you did really good. This is really good. This is sick. Like, Queens isn't having a good time here. But
They're not,
he might think you have ace jack.
That's true. Like, ace
Right.
jack is the only value he's beating here.
Correct. It's the only value he's beating, but he beats value. And when you beat value in that regard, because there's enough combos, you can't be folding hands like queens. Like, if he folded this hand, knowing that, like, you have this in your range, he would get absolutely torched.
So, could he have folded ace-jack here?
I don't think so, because he blocks pocket jacks. And the 4 on the board on the end makes it less likely that you have sets.
Right. So, what could he have folded here?
He could have folded maybe king-jack, queen-jack, and then let's say he has, like, call it, with the sizings that you chose, maybe he has, like, ace-7 or ace-8 with a backdoor that has to call, fold, which isn't necessarily a positive for you, but you can't be check calling on the end, so you have to bluff yourself, you know? So he's definitely going to have some hands that he's going to fold, but it's a very tight range again,
Doesn't he
and
have...
our bluffs are very limited.
But, and how do I think about the numbers of bluffs and good cards he has here?
When we think about the line as a whole, when he 3-bets you, and then c-bets flop, and then calls the raise, but it was a min-raise, and that's kind of the issue, right? We didn't really narrow his range very much with the min-raise.
Yeah.
The min-raise didn't really help us.
Yep.
Where if we go bigger on the min-raise, and then bigger on the turn, we can say, okay, this guy's range is pretty strong now, maybe instead of bluffing, we can just give up.
Yep.
But in this spot, because you have this hand so rarely, and you're going to have pocket 4s, you're going to have pocket jacks.
Yep.
Maybe sometimes you might have 7-8 with a backdoor, right? So you might river, like you might turn a straight. You're going to also want to have some bluffs in your range, and this is a really good combo to do it.
Yep.
So I would just try to play a pure game and use this one only.
Okay.
Because I don't know where else your bluffs are going to come from. If you have 5, like, because if you have 5-4 suited, like if you have the last combo of 5-4 suited, you're going to go all in as well.
Yeah.
So it's just about finding a bluff, and this is a good one to bluff with.
Okay.
And sometimes you get called, and that's okay.
Yeah, sometimes I do. Okay, let's see.
Pretty sick.
Let's look at this one. Okay, and I think this is the last one I wanted to review.
Okay, perfect.
And then I'm playing another tournament today, actually. So I will have more questions.
I will have more answers.
I appreciate it. Okay, ace-2 suited. We raise.
Yep, I would always raise. 3x is fine, sure.
Or 2. I can change to 2.5.
2.5, it's not a big deal. Like, this is like the lowest hanging fruit when it comes to the EV gain or loss. Like, it's not a big deal.
Okay. Adrian Mateos. I wonder how he did.
I would fold now.
Oh, I think I did just fold, actually. Oops.
I would,
So it's
perfect. Perfect.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, the first ones I just... Yeah. Okay. Landon, thank you so much. This was really helpful. I really appreciate it.
I'm happy to help, and I'm happy that we have looked at least a little bit of some new mechanics, right? The unblocker, like the unblocker is very important, just because when it comes to finding bluffs or when it comes to finding check raises and stuff like that, that's going to be a very thematic thing that you're going to want to look for when choosing your combos.
And unblockers are usually things like pocket 4s, pocket 3s, pocket 2s, ace-2 suited, ace-3 suited, that kind of stuff, right? Yes, guys, I do have my notes.
She's got the notes. She's using the notes in real time, but she's cooking. So the point being, like, when you find some hands to bluff with, you'll want to think about, how does my hand do with blocking the top of their range while giving them the most garbage as possible? Yeah. So that's why, like, in the new school poker, exactly, that's why the machine fucking loves it. Like, the machine loves it. Like, you have a, like, if you open low jack at 100 big blinds effective and the big blind calls and the board is like king 8-4, it fucking loves ace deuce because it blocks ace, like, it blocks ace king and it's the deuce unblocker, right? So we have so much good happening across multiple streets.
Fascinating.
Yeah, so it's like, that's a lot of newer school stuff that old school people, like back in the day, they didn't have the solver, right?
Right.
So people would always bet with like equity. They'd have like Jack 10 or they'd have like Ace Jack. And they would be like, oh, you know, like we need to have these kind of hands in order to bet this size.
Yeah.
But now when we look at the new school, it's like, no, we don't want Jack 10 because if they jam on us, that's annoying. But if we have Ace Deuce, we block their best hands. And if they jam on us, we're folding absolutely no equity away.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to try to soak up as much of this as I can, Landon. Thank you so much.
Do your best. If you ever want to look at some trainer spots and play against the machine with me, I'm happy to do that.
I will definitely pick you up on that.
I think playing
to
against
take advantage of being in Canada and just get a little bit more tournaments to go through and then review while I'm here, you know?
Yeah, please do. If you have questions, just message me on Discord and I'm a message away.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Landon. And you guys command Landon to check out his Twitter. Landon, when are you making educational
Landon on
content?
Twitter. Yeah. Almost the right Landon on Twitter.
I know. Okay, I'm sorry. I was going to meet one of my childhood friends, and I don't have internet when I leave, so I think I typed it really quickly. I messed up the time. I messed up your name. I messed up everything. I'm so sorry.
No, it's not a big deal. That's just fucking with you. Alrighty.
Okay.
We'll talk soon. Good luck in your tournaments. If you have any questions, please let me know.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, Landon.
Alrighty.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Take care. All right, guys. I hope that was educational for you guys as well. I think it was really interesting. And as always, if you guys are ever playing poker, play with only with stakes that you are comfortable with, you know? It could be a very fun game, but just be careful. I am going to be playing another event today. Let me check which one it was. I am going to have to restart stream with a delay, so I'm really sorry about that. But again, I'm sure you guys would rather see my cards than not see cards, right? Right? I'm uncomfortable with stakes that end up overcooking. My dad has been playing poker online. He's been playing like 1 cent, 2 cent, and he sends me some of the spots he in, and it's very cute. I like hearing technical jargon. I have no clue about it, but it sounds cool. I mean, it reminds me of studying chess. Things are very confusing, but the more you look at it, the easier it gets. Okay, sorry. 1 second. Okay. All right. Okay. So there's one that started between 10 and noon, and they have late reg right now. So I am going to play it right now. Let me just sign up. Gakkos! What's up? Thank you so much. Yeah, 1 cent, 2 cent is totally a thing. Like, the way I think about it is if you're going to do an activity, you usually pay a fee, right? Like, if you go golfing, if you're going to rock climbing. So if you're using, like, that same amount to play, that's how I think we should think about it if we're trying to play the game. Do you think it's more important to study in poker or chess? Both. I mean, if you're playing poker, study poker. If you're studying chess, study chess. If you're going to do either, study. Okay, hang on. Let me log in. You used to play 1 cent, 2 cents while learning? Yeah. You should play smaller ones to practice. So I'm very fortunate because Gigi is helping free roll me into this. So actually, I'm playing smaller stakes than 1 cent or 2 cent. I'm playing 0 cents. And I'm very fortunate to be in this position. Okay, hang on. I need to... Oh, I forgot to log in. Give me 1 second. So yeah, you guys, I actually am playing these stakes. And I am trying to learn. And I am taking it seriously. Alex, can we have a chapstick update? Your username is very funny. Even though, by the way, it says you're a monitored suspicious user. But I find you funny. Okay. All right. We're logging in. Invalid. Oh yeah, I put in the wrong email. Sorry. Are we playing any tournaments? Yeah. I'm queuing up for it right now. I'm gonna have to restart though. Oh, sorry. Let me turn off the music that they have. Actually, it's kind of a vibe. Damn. Okay, this music's... Wait. Wait, who's getting the Modelo ad? Wait, is this a Modelo ad? This is the most... Oh, I had no idea. Okay. Sound... off. Okay. All right, let me find the tournament. How do I find the tournaments? Okay, hang on. I need to figure out how to find the tournaments. It was sounding good. Okay. All right. Okay. Daily deep stack. How do I find this? Sorry, I don't know how to use this website yet. How do I find all the tournaments? All in or fold? It's not this. Here, I'll show you guys what I'm looking at because I'm a little confused. Okay. Like where I know the tournament I'm trying to look for. It's a WSOP high roller 1050 daily. But where is it? I guess it would be here. Aha. Okay. Oh, I think it was this one. Okay. 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 Oh, it's starting soon. Oh, sorry guys. Ah. All right. All right. Oh, you can't see it yet. I'll be back.
Bonjour à la monde. Bienvenue à Paris. Are you start? What are you doing?
I'll be back in like 5 minutes.